Hello my crafty peeps, it's Cheyenne from ecdesignstudios.com. For those of you who don't know, I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I am also now officially a travel consultant specializing in Disney vacations, so I can help you out in a multitude of ways. Alright, so anyway, today we are going to be doing a tutorial, a card tutorial, a shaker card tutorial. And I was watching one of my fellow demonstrators, and she was using the sliding star framelits in a different way. The sliding star framelits are meant to go with the shooting star stamp set, and they make slider cards, like penny slider cards. I've made some of those on my channel already. But she was using them to make shaker cards, and I thought that was brilliant. And I really think that this bundle, it's been greatly overlooked in our annual catalog, and it is a great set and people need to be using it more, so I'm going to. So you're going to need this framelit from the sliding star set. You can get it in the bundle with the shooting star. When you get the stamp sets and the framelits in a bundle, you do save 10%, so if that's something you're going to do, it's worth it to get the bundle price. Alright, we're also going to be using Carousel Birthdays. Pretty sure I'm going to be using this Carousel horse and the I Love When Your Birthday Comes Around. I love this set. It's awesome. I've used it a lot. I have mad love for it. Mad love. Okay, for our paper, oh actually, let's go ahead and do this. I also am using the Layering Circles framelits. This is the largest circle from that set. If you have a punch that is this big, and it's, let me see, roughly about 3 1/4 inches wide. So if you have a punch that's like that, I just want to be able to cut out the acetate to fit within the shaker bits. So that's all that is. So you're going to need a piece of window sheet that is big enough to cut the 2 circles from, and I actually think I'm going to need, actually one circle from the window sheet, so big enough for that. And then a piece of Whisper White, and we're going to need to cut out our shaker slash slider bit and one of the layering circles, so it's got to be big enough for that. And this piece is roughly 5.5 by 9.5. So, wait, that doesn't seem right. Hold on. By 6.5. 6.5. 6 and 9, interchangeable sometimes, aren't they? Alright, piece of Mint Macaron. I love this color. This is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5 to make a top folding card. So this is going to be our card base. All of the 2015 to 2017 colors. So, Mint Macaron, Delightful Dijon, Watermelon Wonder, what else is there? Cucumber Crush, and Tip Top Taupe. They will be retiring when our next annual catalog comes out in June. So if you love these colors and you want more of the products made in these colors, now's the time to do them. We're also going to need another piece of Whisper White. This is about 4 1/4 by 1 3/4. So it's probably going to be cut down a little bit. I just wanted to make sure I had a nice piece to stamp my sentiment. Think we're going to be using the Decorative Label stamp or punch. Not sure yet. We'll see. It might turn into the triple banner punch. Gotta wait for that. Going to be filling my shaker with the Metallic Sequin assortment embellishment. So it's just a whole bunch of different sequins, hearts, stars, the regular circle shapes in white, clear, black, gold, and silver. So I just thought that would be kind of fun. You could also use the sprinkles assortment too, but I don't know, I wanted to use those. I'm going to be using some Peekaboo Peach ink for our sentiment. And we also have a piece of Cupcakes and Carousel DSP. It comes in a 6x6 paper stack, and this is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. Alright, so let's get started by pulling out our Big Shot, and we'll go from there. Okay, let's start by getting all of our die cutting done. I think this will really help us to move the card along. So I've got my Big Shot and my magnetic platform that I use in almost every Big Shot video. I've got the cutting plate, so it's the magnetic platform, the cutting plate, the sheet of acetate, the circle from the layering circles, and the top cutting plate, and then I just ran that through to get our little window sheet cover. And now I've got the piece of Whisper White. I'm cutting out another one of those circles, and I'm using that framelit from the Sliding Stars set and running those through. And this is going to give us our back piece and our window to all this. If you wanted to, you could take that outside ring that's going to be the outside of our shaker, and you could go ahead and stamp that if you wanted to, or color it. Like, think of different colors that you can use, different textures, pattern papers. It's really fun. I can see myself using this technique on a lot of different things. In fact, I think I'm going to probably get out all of my layering dies and the circles and all of that and do some experimenting. All right, so now that we have all of that, I'm going to go ahead and glue my piece of window sheet onto the back of the card. And I was going to use SNAIL adhesive. I'm like, no, let's get out the liquid glue. So there's the Tombow multi-mono liquid glue. It's a really long name. I'm just putting a thin bead around that. I'm going to put my window sheet over the top, and I'm going to take one of my larger acrylic blocks, and I'm just going to put that over the top of it while it dries. This is going to apply the pressure that you need for liquid glue. Also, remember to go ahead and clean off your window sheet at this point. You'll make sure there's as little debris and fingerprints on it as possible. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. All right, and you see, Stampin' Up blocks, not just good for stamping, they also make great paperweights. All right, next up, let's work on the background to our shaker. And let's see, we got our Peekaboo Peach, and I'm going to grab that Carousel Pony from the Carousel Birthday Stamp set. I love using this set in just a monochromatic palette, and it's gorgeous. There's so much detail, you don't have to color it in. Now, I will say that with this stamp in particular, I find that since it's not photopolymer and I can't see through it a lot, I do tend to use the Stamp-A-Majig with it so I can get good placement so that my pony isn't a little crooked there. But since I was stamping on a circle and I could turn it however I needed it to be, wasn't really concerned. Now I'm also stamping the I Love When Your Birthday Comes Around on that extra piece of Whisper White cardstock. I do it completely off camera, but it's okay. You just stamp down, you add some nice even pressure, don't rock it, and you're going to have a beautiful sentiment, and I promise you will see it later in the video, but it's gorgeous. The Peekaboo Peach works so fantastically with the other colors, the Mint Macaroon and the blue tones of the DSP that I chose. It makes it pop, and that's what you see and you notice, and it's gorgeous. Remember to clean off your stamps as you go with your Stampin' Mist and Stampin' Scrub. I really love those two. Totally worth investing in. You can clean your stamps so fast, and then you can move on. So now that the stamping's done, I decided I want to pull out that Decorative Label punch, and I'm going to do just some nice little edge work. I did trim down the piece of Whisper White that I stamped that sentiment on, so that it could fit in. So you see, I'm just going to use each edge. So I've only got one part of that piece of cardstock going through the punch. So it's just going to punch that edge. It's a wonderful way to get more use out of your punches. So you can see I did it on the other side too. Only one of those sides is actually in the punch, and it's a gorgeous technique, and I'm going to use it a lot more, I'm sure. Any sort of like fancy card that you're doing, it just gives a beautiful edge. I've got to try it with the other sides, the top and bottom of that punch too, because I think that would be so much fun. All right, now I'm grabbing my piece of acetate, and let's go ahead and start to form together our shaker box. You're going to need your foam adhesive strips for this. They are so wonderful for shaker cards. You really need these for any sort of interactive card that you're doing, shakers, sliders. They're just the perfect width. They're very easy to work with. I'm just pulling off a piece, and all I'm going to need is one of those strips for this shaker. And it looks like I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera too. I was having a good day, wasn't I? Not paying attention at all. So just go ahead and circle that around. There we go. Now I'm back in camera because I think I realized, oh, hold on. If you're having trouble getting your foam tape to really curve, go ahead and take the paper backing off of the back of it, and you'll find that it's a lot more flexible. You're not having to struggle with it. Not that you struggle too much with the foam adhesive strips to begin with. You know, cut off your little end there, make sure it's nice and tight around there. Now, since I didn't take off my foam strip, I thought, or the paper backing, I thought, all right, now's a good time to add in the fun sequins. So these are the metallic sequins, lots of different colors. In here, we've got, you know, our gold and silver and white and black and clear, and we've got your traditional circle sequins, stars, hearts, just so much fun. So I've filled that up, you know, got what I felt was a good amount in there because I did want to make sure that you would still be able to see the carousel pony through. And now to make sure that there's a little bit of interest, even when the card is standing up, I'm going to add some dots of glue, and then I'm going to go ahead and pick out some of the sequins to just kind of adhere on so it always looks like active and in motion. And I am finding, because I've got the finished card in front of me, that it does start to gather up other sequins too, so it kind of looks like the shaker is always kind of in motion a little bit. It's not just all resting down at the bottom. But this step is completely optional. You don't have to do this. If you want it to all rest at the bottom and so you can see everything, then go ahead and do that. This is your project. You do you. Now let's go ahead and take the paper backing off of our foam adhesive strips and adhere the back of our shaker box onto it. Just make sure you're pushing down nice so that you get a good adherence and none of those shaker bits try to escape. And at this point, we are almost completely done with our card. Look at how fun that shaky shaky is. Now, at this point, I'm thinking, man, I wish that I had stamped that circle before I did something, some sort of pattern on it. I don't know, but something. But I'm like, you know, it's okay. It's okay. It's still going to work. So now comes the really hard part. We're going to adhere that piece of Cupcakes and Carousel Designer Series paper onto our card front with a little SNAIL adhesive. I love the flags on the front. It just totally says, hey, party over here. So easy peasy, just like so. And then I realized, nope, I cannot take the shaker just as it is. So I'm going to pull out my basic black Stampin' Up marker. You can get this individually if you want. And I'm just going to go ahead and pop some dash marks. So it's got the fine pen tip on one side and it's got the brush tip on the other. It's a great marker to have on hand, especially for, you know, card greetings and, you know, journaling, anything like that. So, all right, now we're going to go ahead and start to adhere everything to the front. I'm just going to use some SNAIL to pop it on. If you were going to send this through the mail, I would probably suggest something stronger, liquid glue, the fast fuse, maybe even some tear and tape. But this is the type of card where I probably won't send it in the mail. And if I do, it's going to be in like a bubble wrapped mailer. You pay a little extra for that, but it's nice to know that your card's going to make it to your recipient in one piece. And I wasn't sure whether I wanted to add the sentiment on with SNAIL or pop it up with some dimensionals, but I thought I'm going to do the SNAIL because I want the shaker to be the star, so I don't want it at the same level. So just pop that on, and there you have your nice, fun shaker card. That wasn't hard, was it? Okay, that's it for today's project. Didn't this turn out just adorably? And doesn't this little framelit here make it so easy to do these fun little shaker window porthole bits? Like, imagine this with a sea or cruise sort of theme. Like, it would be a gorgeous card. So, additional supplies that you're going to need are the Tombow liquid glue, your SNAIL adhesive, and the foam strips. These are really essential if you're making any sort of shaker or slider or interactive card. They are fantastic. All right, so that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please remember to like and subscribe. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Feel free to leave comments. I love getting your feedback and hearing from you. It really inspires me to keep doing what I'm doing. It also helps me to pinpoint more of the types of videos that you like to see from me. If you have any Stampin' Up! Products that you want to see demonstrated, anything specific that you want to see me do a tutorial on, leave me a comment, contact me, let me know, and I'll do what I can to accommodate that. Remember, a full list of the products I used can be found in the description bar, along with links to the coordinating blog post and my online Stampin' Up! Store. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Those links are in the description bar. Do a lot of sneak peeks and behind the scenes stuff on my Instagram and my Facebook. I've been doing Facebook Live on Fridays, usually around 6 or 7 o'clock. And every now and again, I'll jump on there live. It's also where I kind of try to keep you posted on any upcoming sales or dates that you need to be aware of, any products that are running low or that have come back, and all of that jazz. So it's worth it to follow me on those other social media sites. All right, so that's it. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye.